Okay, so today we have an unboxing of the PS5, the Horizon Forbidden West bundle. I didn't think I'd be making a PS5 unboxing or any kind of PS5 content on this channel anytime soon, just because they're so hard to come by, and somehow I got lucky. But starting off with the first little package here, a simple game. So yeah, it's just a Ratchet and Clank, the new Rift Apart game. I figured it was like 30 bucks, so I figured why not. So let's go ahead and get right into this. Jeez, I can't even cut. Oh my God. Yo, what the? So let's try and get this guy out of here. Wow, yeah, it's huge. It is massive. So in case you're wondering what the box looks like, this is the Horizon Forbidden West bundle. It's really nothing special besides a couple graphics from the game itself. So there you go, in case you really want to know. Okay, so, oh my God, this is not easy. Okay, hold it, there we go. Damn, this is massive. Let's see. So inside the Horizon Forbidden West box is a giant white box, which is literally just white. Okay. Yeah. All right, I got it. Okay, so inside the little box that's at the top, get your guides, your kickstand, or not kickstand, just your stand for the console, HDMI cord. By the way, this all smells so good. If you didn't know, new stuff smells good. Then you get power supply or your power cord. Power supply is inside the console. The controller, see, and also a USB-C to USB-A cable to charge the controller. So, controller smells pristine. Smells so good. It feels a little bit more like an Xbox controller. I like it. I definitely like it a bit more. All right, so now for the actual console. Another big question you probably all have is, do you get a disc? No, you'll get a code. Anyways. Wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. It's big. Oh my. It looks cool. Definitely looks cool. It's just, I don't know. It looks a little bit more. I don't want to call it toyish, but it just looks like those like renders or fake PS2s and PS3s you would see back in the day of like people predicting what it's gonna look like and looking super futuristic. That's what the PS5 is looking like to me. But I definitely like it. I think it's a nice and sleek console. It's definitely big though. It's a big guy. On the front you have a USB-C and USB-A port. You also have the power button and looks like the ejection tool for the disc here on the side. On the back, you do have your power supply and a couple USBs as well, and your HDMI and Ethernet ports. So that's pretty much it as far as the unboxing. So let's go ahead and plug this in, and I'll give you guys my very first impressions. Now, I take a little bit to get everything set up and everything turned on and stuff downloaded and stuff installed and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll see you guys in like maybe a couple hours or maybe even a couple days. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So yeah. Okay, so it's been a couple of days now since I set up the PS5. I've used it for about a weekend now, and for the most part, I've enjoyed it. I've had a good experience so far. So starting off the hardware design, personally, I like the design. I think it's a very clean and, you know, kind of unique looking device here. So it is a big device too. And personally, I like the white colorway that they picked for just the original PS5 here. It looks nice because I have a Nintendo Switch, which is the OLED version, which is white. So I have them both like right next to each other. So those two next to each other, the white aesthetic, just the contrast with the black dresser makes it look really nice. But because it is big, you do have to keep in mind where you place it, and whether you place it vertically or horizontally. You might want to use the stand that comes with it. something I noticed is that when I place it on like my desk right here without the stand, it's gonna slip. Like it's gonna move around very easily, has no friction. You could accidentally bump it and it could just slide right off. So definitely use that stand if your dresser, your table, whatever your fixture has like a slippery finish to it, because it might cause the PS5 to move around or slip around, and you might accidentally end up bumping it by accident and knocking it over. So just something to keep in mind as well. But otherwise, going into the user interface, the software, I think it's pretty simple to use. I've used the PS4 very lately before. I used it mainly for games here and there. I didn't really go super crazy with it. I was mainly an Xbox user, but this user interface is very simple and very fast. I definitely like how quick you can navigate through things. I think it has to do with like showing off the performance and the speed of how fast the PS5 can load things, because you literally feel like you're barely clicking and loading. It literally just gets right into the store, gets right into the games, manage your games right away. Like it's so seamless and so quick. I absolutely love it so far. I also like that they split up the games and the media. Like there's one section for games and one section for all media. So it's very easy to just navigate between whether you want to, browse not social media, but just like browse content and stuff like that, like actual media, and watch shows and stuff, or get to your games. So far it's pretty easy to use. And something that's a little bit different, I think, the PS4 is that instead of holding on to the PlayStation button on the controller, you now have to press it to just get to your quick menu settings. So it gives you these quick menu sections so you can like switch games real quick, go into your parties and chats for friends, go into your downloads, change the sound, and all that kind of stuff. So, and if you want to go to the main home, instead of pressing just down the PlayStation button, you have to hold it to go home. So it took a little bit, like maybe a day to get used to that, because I was used to a little bit from the PS4, but no big deal. I definitely think it's still a seamless and easy user interface to use. I also love the amount of backwards compatibility here. So whether it be the games or even some accessories. So say you already have a bunch of PS4 games, those will all run perfectly fine on the PS5 here. Now, if you have some accessories, some of them should work directly on the PS5 as well. I'm pretty sure the actual DualShock 4 or DualShock, whatever it's called, the PS4 controller works on the PS5. I also have a headset that I bought way back then for the PS4. Granted, this works with the PC as well. It also works on the PS5 with no issues. So I didn't have to go out and buy a new headset. I could just reuse the one I have now, which is great. So as far as those games though, so all those PS4 games couldn't run on here as the PS4 versions. Or there's some games that have like a PS5 upgrade. So basically either pay a small fee, or sometimes they're free and you just get like the PS5 version of it. Or you can get like an update that basically enhances the PS4 version to run better and improve the performance of the game to run on the PS5 with the new capabilities that it has. So that's great, but there's one thing that annoys me about it. So basically, when you go to pop in a disc, sometimes it'll auto start to re-download the PS5 or PS4 version and then queue up the PS5 version. So I have to constantly go in and cancel and delete the PS4 copy, because I just want to get the PS5 copy. Sometimes I do want that PS4 copy, but most of the time I just want the PS5 copy. I don't need the PS4 copy. And the reason it's kind of annoying is because of the lack of storage that this thing has. So games take up a lot of storage and they fill up real quick. So I quickly filled up my storage right away with my collection that I had. So I had to be very mindful and make sure that the PS4 versions and the PS5 versions both weren't downloaded. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. But I will say that I heard that you can easily upgrade the storage on here, either by getting an M.2 SSD or by getting simply an external hard drive or external SSD. Basically, you can just, if you get the internal SSD, the M.2, then you can I think you can play directly on the SSD. Or if you get an external hard drive, then you can just move the games back and forth, which is much faster than having to re-download the game again and again and again every time you want to play it. So that's definitely an option there, which is nice, but I definitely wish that the base amount that you got was at least a terabyte before all the system storage that I took up. And now to basically the most important thing, the gameplay. Honestly, games here, for me, they look pretty good. I'm a very casual gamer, so I'm not very nitpicky about games running absolutely amazing. I will say that every once in a while maybe you'll get like a hiccup here and there. I was able to freeze up the console already, so I don't know if it's the console's fault or if the game, maybe it's a mix of both, but basically I was just playing FIFA 22 and it just randomly froze. And I was like, what's going on here? So I had to turn off my PS5 and restart it. So no big deal, but again, it's still really good performance for the most part. And the thing that I love the absolute most, and this is very important for me because like I said, I'm a casual gamer, so I don't have a ton of time to game. And when I do want to game, I want to get into the game right away. The load times. That's probably part to the SSD that it uses and the storage, and also just the console itself with all the spec-wise stuff, the graphics card, whatever it uses. I'm not going to talk about those here, but I bet all that has to do with the load times, because load times are so much faster and so much better on here. Like I said, it makes a huge difference for me just because I just want to play I have like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to play. I want to get right into the game, don't want to load stuff, This thing loads things so fast. And the games, like I said, they all run really great. I have had no issue with them besides that FIFA game. Otherwise, everything looks good in my opinion. And it's all going to depend also on the game you use and the TV/monitor that you use. So I used my monitor that's back here, which is a LG GL850B, I think. Doesn't really matter the name. Basically, it's a 1440p display with 144 Hertz. I also used a 4K 60 Hertz TV by Samsung, and then I also used my crappy ass off-brand TV that's a 1080p 60 Hertz TV. So I would say if you want the best performance, definitely get like some kind of TV or monitor that has high refresh rate, because games run so smoothly on there because they'll use like the performance mode and they just look so smooth and so much better in my opinion. So 1440p with 144 Hertz on this console was absolutely fantastic. If you want the best looking game you can possibly get, then I would definitely maybe go for a 4K TV. And I know there's some TVs that have 4K and 120 Hertz, but for my TV, it's just 4K and 60 Hertz. So it's still okay smooth. It's not like super smooth, but it's still smooth enough. And it still looked really good because it was 4K. And then obviously the shitty experience was on the 1080p 60 Hz TV, which unfortunately is going to be my main TV that I'll be using until I can upgrade it. So unfortunately, I'm stuck with my 1080p 60 Hz TV. So I wasn't personally prepared to upgrade yet or even get this yet. So that's why my TV is still crap. All I was using for that TV was just a Nintendo Switch, which was more than fine for it. So now that I have a PS5, I'm kind of like eager to get a new TV for my bedroom to upgrade that TV. But regardless, it's definitely playable. Like I said, what matters to me the most is the load times, graphics, performance. It's definitely important, but for me, I just want to get right into the game and play the games. I'm not playing super competitively. Most of the games I play is actually story mode games or single player games, so it's no big deal to me. So yeah, it depends on what kind of gamer you are. So for me, the way I have it set up right now is satisfactory. It definitely can be improved on my side, not the console side. The console itself is really good. The other thing that really enhances the experience and the gaming experience is this controller. So I've used the Xbox controller pretty much exclusively for the longest time. So I use it for my PC, use it for the Xbox itself because I used to be a huge Xbox gamer. And I like the controller. It was very ergonomically nice. It was comfortable in the hand. The button placements were all nice. It felt really good. I never had any complaints with it. Honestly, it felt like the generic, best controller you could possibly get. But this DualSense controller for the PlayStation 5 is really a nice upgrade from the Xbox One controller and even the PS4 controller. So it's probably one of the best experiences you'll get in any controller. The amount of vibration and different feedback and stuff like that and motors is absolutely crazy. So the best way you even experience it and try it out, if you ever get the chance to play Astro's Playroom, it's not really that great of a game, but the way it takes advantage of all the different vibration motors and the way the trigger tenses up when you're doing something in the game specifically, it's amazing. I absolutely love using this controller. It's definitely a lot better than the PS4 controller ergonomically, but I still will say that the Xbox One controller feels a little bit more comfortable after a while, but it's still a really nice controller. It feels good in the hand, it feels comfortable, the button placements is nice, and like I said, the vibration motors crazy good. I can't say much about the touchpad and stuff like that, but it's there. Some games utilize it, some games don't. I also will say that I do like there's a mute button directly on the controller. I thought it was just for the mute button that was or for the mic that's on the controller itself, but it actually works with headsets and stuff like that. So if you have a headset connected, you can easily hit that and mute yourself real quickly. Now, I know some headsets just come with a mute button built in, but this is a little bit easier too because it's just on your controller. You don't have to worry about it. So, and on the bottom, you also have a headphone jack if you want to connect a headset that way. And it also has the pre-installed different ways so you can actually use like a charging dock and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool too. I also like that they uses USB-C, so used to micro USB on the other controllers and the older controllers, but thankfully, you know, it's I was hoping, you know, if they didn't, I'd be super shocked, but that it's USB-C now. So overall, I definitely love this controller. I can't say much for battery life either yet because I haven't been using it for that long, but you know, I would say it's probably pretty good. I think, I don't really know how big it is and how long it's supposed to last, but so far not much issue because I'm just a casual gamer and play in small, short amount of periods. But overall, this console, you know, I wouldn't say I'm like crazy impressed or like I'm like mind blown. I just love it. That's all I gotta say. I just love it. I definitely think it is a really good console, and I can see why it's probably hard to get, and I mean, it's probably multiple reasons why it's hard to get, but if you can happen to get this, I don't know if I should say you should get it or not because I haven't used it extensively yet. First impressions is it's good. I like it. I like it a lot. For the money I paid, I think it's expensive. It's a chunk of money, but I think it's probably worth it compared to like the market with the PC stuff, and you know, Xbox is around the same price as well. So I don't know, if you want like a casual gaming stuff or a casual gaming console or just something to play your games on and you're just a casual gamer, this is definitely going to be a good choice, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I'm going to keep using it and maybe I'll end up making a review for it, but so far first impressions are sky high. So I'm enjoying it, I'm loving it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and